from the very beginning, we were religious, artistic, and capable of science. Okay? We do not need an elite to do this for us. We are all capable of doing this by ourselves. And the examples, of course, are the cave paintings that we discussed, as well as these religious settlements, Göbekli Tepe, Karahoyak. Okay? And as we discussed before, people come together to practice their religion, building temples, building monuments. And then slowly, around these temples, you have development of farming in order to sustain these temples, in order to practice the religion. But over time, what happens is that the temple people become corrupt. Rather than being elected by the people, rather than serve the people, they become hereditary, okay? They engage in rent-seeking. And so what people do is they just leave and build a temple somewhere else. Okay? And throughout this time, all these temples are being built. But in certain locations, the temples can also engage in trade. Why? Because they're the meeting place of many, many other communities. And as such, their real estate is the most valuable in the world. And so it's hard for people to leave, and the place just grows and grows and grows. And as this civilization grows, the people in charge create something called a temple economy. Okay? And this is just a primitive form of taxation. Basically what happens is that everyone brings food to the temple, and the priests then redistribute the food amongst everyone else. Okay? And that allows for public works projects, like irrigation, mainly irrigation, but also more temples. Okay? And because of this economy, now you need writing. You need to record how much food you have. You have to record who gets what food, the rations. You also need to record trade, right? How much grain you're getting from here, how much cows you're giving to over there, okay? Now you have a writing system, then you have money. But as this civilization develops, a strict hierarchy emerges. And the hierarchy goes against the natural order. Also remember that people at any time can just choose to leave. So how do you make people stay where they are and just follow the natural order? Well, now you have to create mythology. Okay? Which then you encode or write down so that it seems as though it's coming from the gods themselves. Okay, does that make sense? In other words, civilization did not give us religion, arts, and science. We already had these things. We could at any time in our history do all these things. Civilization is a device meant to gaslight or fool people into believing that a hierarchy is legitimate when it is not legitimate. It is meant to fool people into thinking of that this hierarchical system is divinely ordained. Okay? So that's the argument I will make to you today. Before I continue, are you clear about this framework? This is a traditional framework. This is what you've been taught in school. The problem with this framework is that it assumes that we're all stupid. And if we're all stupid, it's hard to explain how we did the cave paintings, how we built Göbekli Tepe, okay? How we did Karahoyak. It assumes all these things. This new understanding is that we're all capable of creativity, but eventually, because of social development, we have these large cities, and now the people in charge need to create civilization in order to justify the hierarchy. Okay?